right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. And I'm your host, Brian Forbes. And you know how we do every Wednesday at 7. We do every Wednesday at 7 on the Black Factor. So, on the Black Factor. Ladies and gentlemen. So, tonight. Ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute. Tonight. Tonight, y'all, we're going to have some fun because we got a special guest coming on. So I want y'all to stay tuned for that. Plus, we're going to talk about the latest news. Just in case you didn't know, y'all's man Bill Cosby got out of jail today. And we're going to chop it up about that. And a couple other things because, you know, I'm always wanting to tie two and two together and give you some food for thought. So let's just get this party started. All right. So look, y'all, few things going on, but y'all know this is the Black Factor where perspective is everything, and you also know that over here, the truth doesn't care about your opinion. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all know that. Y'all know what's good. You know what it is. You know the story. So, check this out, y'all. Don't forget, my YouTube people, do not forget, y'all, hit them likes, hit them subscribes on the Facebooks and the likes and all of the bells and whistles. Y'all know we need support. I need y'all to do that. I need y'all to share it. I need y'all to do all of them things because, of course, you know, you got to support black media. Without me, what would y'all do? You know, I give it to you with perspective. I give it to you so that you can digest it. I give you the truth. Y'all know what it is. But don't forget, my Oh So Smooth radio family out there, we got that Oh So Smooth simulcast going on. My man DJ Shorty Smooth, who is the procurer of that business, and I do appreciate that. Black business, y'all. You know what it is. We got to be about that life. So don't forget my Oh So Smooth radio family. Shouts out to y'all. We got Gina Love in the building. She is hanging out with us today. Let's not also forget, you can download that Oh So Smooth radio app, y'all, on Play Store and iTunes, I think it's what they call it. Yeah, okay. So let's get this thing going. Felicia Walker, thank you for checking in. I see you. All right. Right off the top, y'all, breaking news. I think I'm going to be like CNN, y'all. Breaking news. Y'all's man Donald Trump, they talking about filing charges as early as tomorrow on the Trump organization. And it's going to be for multiple crimes. And it's funny because they keep saying stuff like, well, they're not saying they're going to charge Trump. Well, guess what? He's the facilitator of all of this. And them taxes he's been hiding all these years, they about to come back and get him for that one. Because you can't do the stuff that he's been doing. His name is going to come back up again later on in the show because there's some strange parallels taking place with the latest news and what's going on with him because we all know he's foul. But anyway, and we got upcoming. Y'all don't forget we got upcoming 4th of July. Now, y'all know this is the Black Factor. This the Black Factor, you know, and around here, things like the 4th of July just don't fly. And I'm only saying that because y'all got to remember that when the 4th of July, with the celebration of Independence Day, is the celebration of a group of folks who decided they wanted to get away from another group of folks and run their own country. Nothing wrong with that. The only problem is that when this took place, they did that and we were still in chains. So I ain't sure what we celebrating other than a day off, but you know, y'all know how I feel about that. I'm on another page with that. And Juneteenth is the thing that we should be focusing more on. And even that I have I ain't gonna say I got a problem with it, but you know, of course, I have a problem with the idea that they made that a national holiday rather than give us reparations and all the. Oh, by the way, y'all see my shirt that say reparations check is overdue, and it's overdue. Free labor made this country what it is. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? And every time we have to deal with these things, you know, it's just one more of them things. You know what I'm talking about. Kim Taylor, how you doing, baby? Bonita Henderson is in the building. Maryland, Washington. Oh man, I got my people in the building. Doc Holmes is in the building. Look at that. Look at that. Carolyn Bobo is in the building. Oh my goodness. All my CVS folks. Listen, y'all. The Palace was huge and a lot of great people came from that place. And if you don't know what the Palace is, that's Chicago Vocational High School. And I got a little something for y'all out of Chicago Vocational High School. Just hang on 1 second. Check this out. So it's been 22 months. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me start first by saying this. I want to thank each and every individual who supported, put forth any accolades, any prayers, any of that for myself and my family in regard to this Miss Illinois pageant that we just went and attended on this weekend. It was a fantastic event, quite expensive, by the way. We had a fantastic time, and I want all y'all to know, man, I'm humbled by your support. I am humbled by you all's willingness to put forth effort, time, money, energy toward the betterment of our young black women and my young black daughter in particular. Unfortunately, she's not able to join us this evening. I would have loved for her to come on and speak to you herself. But she's working and she had prior obligations. But I do have a special guest on tonight. Just so happens. Y'all stay tuned for that. Let me just say this. So 22 months ago, or 22 months have passed since the previous Miss Illinois USA pageant, because of COVID, of course. And they would have crowned a new Miss Illinois in 2020, but y'all know what was going on. We was all stuck on lockdown. Anyway, they canceled it. So the reigning Miss Illinois, or the previously reigning Miss Illinois, she held that office for almost 2 years. Now, this weekend we were in Normal, Illinois. Y'all, if you don't know about Normal, Illinois, let me tell you, it's a college town. And let me tell you something. If you don't bring your food with you, you might be in trouble after a certain time, because they ain't no food in that joker after a certain time. Raina Craft, Charlotte Davis, Riri is in the building. Phyllis is in the building. Austin, man, look, y'all showing up and showing out. All my people in the building, man, I love y'all. I want you to know I love y'all. Y'all make this possible. But look, Normal, Illinois, I'm going to just say this. The best hotel in town ran out of soap. I don't know how that's possible, but they didn't have no damn soap. The hotel I was staying in, which I could only stay in because I didn't have because I guess we made our other reservations too late. My toilet stopped up. We had to call the plumber to the hotel. Hey, it was fun, y'all. It was a fiasco. That's all I can tell you, but we had a good time. Okay, so anyway, this was the 70th edition of the Miss Illinois pageant at the state level. Well, of course, Illinois State, you know. Anyway, the judges had to select a young lady from this group, which I can tell you personally would have been very, very difficult in my best estimate, because there was a lot of very stiff competition. Regina Freeman is in the building. Michael Reese, I see y'all. Thank you for hanging out with your boy. Anyway, the Miss Cindy Bennett was the winner of the Miss Illinois pageant this year. Well deserved. From my understanding, she had actually been placed, she was actually Miss Teen 3 years ago, which I thought was interesting. I have my own thoughts about some of this stuff, you know, y'all know I'm a skeptic. I'm gonna pick everything apart. So that's just me. Anyway, not to say that she didn't deserve the place. That's not what I mean. Don't misunderstand me. It's just when you look at these types of events, you have to, certain questions just come up in my head. That's all. Anyway, she will be representing Illinois at the upcoming Miss USA pageant later this year. So congratulations to Miss Cindy Bennett. She did that thing. But although Miss Cindy Bennett did win, we are fortunate enough to have a contestant from that event on the show tonight. And we are going to introduce to you right now Miss Oriana Tior Beard.
Hi, how are you? How are
We
you?
are fabulous, and we are happy to see you in the building, hanging out with us and doing the thing. I want to know, Oriana Tior, what they do? They call you Oriana for short. Is that what it is?
They call me
Or
Oreo,
oh,
like the
really?
cookie.
Okay, all right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, I can dig that. Now, that's interesting. I, Oriana, tell us, give us an overview. I mean, did you enjoy the event? Did you have fun? What was what? Tell us something.
So typically, I'm not what you would consider a typical pageant girl. I'm more so into modeling. I got into pageantry like maybe a
Mm-hmm.
year or two ago, maybe three, my freshman year of college. Scrolling on Instagram, saw it, participated. I was skeptical because, like, the rumors of like catty women and
Ah,
things like that. That's not my cup of tea. Is it not? I stay away from the catty women. But to my surprise, I met a lot of women. They're very like sweet. We're all about the women empowerment type of females, and I appreciate it. I like met one girl in particular. Like she was just absolutely gorgeous, such a sweetheart, and she made me want to come back. Just knowing that she was just this gorgeous person that people would typically think of, oh, she might be, a rude, stuck up person and like always cares about herself. But she wasn't. She was really nice and she made me comfortable to join and come back. I made a bunch of friends. And then I'm here
well, that's
again.
fantastic. So, in other words, Black Girl Magic was all up in the building, and that's what you're trying to tell me. Well, I mean, that's not to say wasn't no white girls there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It was a lot of black excellence in the building. This is the Black Factor, just so you know. We do it black over here. Okay.
For sure.
So you're a Chicago resident?
I am. I am from
What part of
Chicago.
town you from?
But I am from the south side of
South
Chicago.
Side. All right, that's what's up. So you've only been competing for a couple of years. What made you decide? I mean, you said that you saw it and you decided to compete, but there had to be something a little deeper than that. What was it?
Um, I watched like pageants when I was a little girl, and I liked the tiaras and stuff as a kid attracted me. But I never knew like what exactly is this like supposed to be
Okay.
about? Is this just like a bunch of girls parading, or what? What is this? Got involved. It's very
Oh boy,
expensive.
tell me.
Very a lot of money, but at the experience at the end of the day, it's more than just like a tiara, and that is what made me
Okay.
like I
Well,
guess.
I'm gonna say this right here, cause speaking of money, now fortunately my daughter is very career minded and she's doing her thing and she can afford to pay her own way, thankfully. But I have paid for some pageants in the past, so I'm very aware. Those guys, for my audience, just so y'all know, give my audience an idea of what some of those gowns cost.
Ooh. Okay, me, I can't afford like that. Some gowns can range up to like thousands to 40 thousands of
Mm-hmm.
dollars. Me personally, I don't do that. I am not going to drop $40,000 on a dress
Yeah,
that I will
yeah. Those,
wear one
those
time.
gowns
I will.
can get way up there in them numbers. Um, well, I found that a lot of girls that actually will swap out dresses or trade dresses and that kind of thing because when they go to different pageants and stuff. I have seen that. Um, that's a I'll tell you something that kind of threw me off a little bit when we got to the event. Now, y'all, let me tell you something. We paid. Now, this was for the preliminary in the afternoon. I think it started at 2 or 3 o'clock. Just for the preliminary event, it cost us $54 each to enter. And that was from
Yeah,
three to five or six or something like that. 3 to 5, I can't remember. Anyway, that was the preliminary part of the event. $54 each. Now,
Person.
per ticket. That's all right. Now, here's the fun part. For the final, it cost us $64 each. We spent a good 500 and some change on tickets just to see the event. So, it was only a few of us. But I will say that I don't have a problem supporting something like this that helps to build the esteem of young black women and shows that there are other things going on in our community besides the usual narrative that's portrayed through the media on so many occasions. Things like this don't get enough airtime. How do you feel about that?
As far as like us not getting enough like
Yeah, right.
recognition. Um, I mean, it's unfair. I guess it's like it's not. It's more to a female than just like her body.
Hmm.
And being in a pageant, I feel like that's a good way to express like we have more than like just we're not. I want to say like that. We're not trashy people. Like not every woman
Right,
is trashy. A person knows how to carry
right.
themselves. And I feel like when pageantry shows, hey, this is me expressing myself. I have high class. I know how to carry myself, and that's typically what a pageant is about: learning how to carry or showing, expressing that you know how to carry yourself. You know how to be a lady. You know how to speak to people. You know how to communicate with people. You know how to get your point
Yes,
across.
absolutely. I think that is a the and I wish we did more things or promoted more things like this within the communities to make to show the black excellence, man. It's something that I think is very necessary. Now, I did notice something about this particular pageant that I've seen in other pageants that wasn't present, which was talent. Is there a reason why they didn't include talent in this pageant?
There are different types of pageants. There are like beauty pageants and like I want to say modeling kind of pageants. Like I've done typically modeling pageants, which is more so
Yeah.
kind of like Miss Illinois USA. It's not necessarily like you're gonna be like a circus clown, whereas we have to show off all of our skills and be like, hey, look at me, I know how to juggle. Like no, it's just simply caring about
But now,
how
well, hold on now. The same could be said because you have people who speak uh, toward women in the bathing suit category. Because I remember at one point, one of the pageants, one of the big pageants that was on television, they were talking about women complaining or wanting to eliminate that portion of the pageant, the swimsuit a part of it. And I've even noticed now they're referring to it as the health part. In other words, to show that a woman is, I guess, physically fit or whatever the case may be. The same, I think, could probably be said for that. Wouldn't you say?
you can. There are a lot of people that don't like to expose their body and they feel insecure. Or like, but I feel like over time now, like it's 2021, people are starting to slowly shift towards like
Hmm.
accepting their bodies. There are people that are starting like I'm referring to like I guess like bigger girls. Like there are times that like at first this was not a thing. Like
Right.
if you were like a size, they'd be like, "What are you doing?
Because
Go
there
sit
were
down."
some
And
girls
like
there that
now,
I thought that you wouldn't typically expect to see in a pageant. Absolutely.
but I love that. I love the fact that like they're comfortable enough to like go with her. That's why I like the fact that they have the bathing suit in. Because if you are whatever size and you feel comfortable enough to put that bathing suit on, then power to it.
Very good. Well, Oriana Tior, Miss Oriel, I want to I want to say thank you very much for coming on to the show and giving the audience some perspective because unfortunately everyone wasn't able to watch it. They wanted another, I think it was $20 to stream it. And I think that the video
Yeah.
from the event was $175. And then they had photo packages
Right.
that were running into the numbers too. I just, and when I see stuff like that, it starts to make me wonder, is this a money grab? Is that what this is? Ah, anyway. So, what do you have up next? What are your plans for the future?
I am going to continue doing Miss Illinois USA, but I am interested in possibly doing Miss
Miss
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Oh wow.
So,
Okay. Out of this world. That's
that's me.
that's what's
Come
up. Well,
on.
listen, I wish you luck. I hope you become Miss Galaxy. I hope you blow it up. Do the thing. You know what I mean? That's what's happening. I got to have a plan for the future, and I look forward to seeing you make those moves. And now, since just so you now have a fan, and we'll be following you as well as our own daughter. So you get out there and you make it happen, and we're gonna support you along the way, and the rest of the community, I'm sure, will as well. So, Miss Oriana T.R. Beard, I want to thank you for coming on the show and spending some time with us and giving us a little bit of perspective. And I'm going to just call you Oreo from now on. All right, Oreo.
So much for having me.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here. You take care now. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. All right. All right. All right.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Wait a minute. I gotta cut that.
Okay.
I gotta cut that.
Okay. All right, y'all. So that was Ariana Tior Beard, a contestant in this year's Miss Illinois 2021. And she put on a pretty good show out there, just like all the rest of the young ladies, and they did a fantastic job. And a lot of interesting stuff to be discussed in that regard, I think. Because there's so many topics that revolve around, the body shaming and, people being secure within themselves. And I think it's a fantastic venue or idea or thing for women to be involved in, particularly, young women, especially those who are looking to better themselves and help other young women to better themselves. I think it was great. I think it was fantastic. All right, y'all. Now we got to get on to the other stuff. Y'all know the other stuff. That stuff. We get ready to get down to it now. Now we get ready to get into it. So check this out, y'all. While I was at the event, I ran across this story. Some of you may have heard about it. You may not. So a good Samaritan, or what in gun enthusiast circles is referred to as a good guy with a gun. He was present when an Arvada, Colorado police officer encountered a man on Friday with a shotgun. So he responded to this call. Well, he encountered it. He got the call. You know how they do, dispatcher. Yeah, we got a man, a suspicious man. He was called suspicious. Who that sound like? But now I want you to keep in mind that all of the people involved in this particular situation were not of color. Now I want you to remember that for a reason. He responded to a call of a suspicious person at Arvada's Old Town, which is a downtown district. Excuse me. Where they have shops and restaurants and bars. And it was about 1:30 in the afternoon. Middle of the day on a Monday. Middle of the day. And this guy's out here walking around with a shotgun, right? So, a teen alleges that the man walked up to him, made a funny noise, and showed him a condom. Pervert. Anyway, the responding officer, Officer Gordon Beasley, he approached Ronald Troike, which was the guy with the gun's name, who was 59. Now, according to accounts, the man then turned and ran after the officer. So now we got a guy chasing a police officer with a shotgun. What's wrong with this picture? See, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to say this. How many times have we seen police officers overreact? Now, there's an irony in that statement. You're going to hear about it in a second. How many times have you ever seen a black person have an opportunity to chase a police officer with a shotgun? Nah, not going to happen. Anyway, he chased the officer down and shot him twice. Killed him. Broad daylight. Now, it was said that the 19-year veteran and Arvada's 2014 Employee of the Year never had a chance to reach for his gun. He didn't have time to defend himself, so I'm guessing that this happened pretty quickly. But I'm also thinking that if you see a guy in the middle of the afternoon holding a shotgun, that you have a report that he showed a kid a condom. Now, I'm not saying he's supposed to have an itchy trigger finger, but, there's an argument there for being more alert, I would guess. However, the man chased him with a shotgun. Now, I want you to remember also that whoever told this story or is telling this story, I believe which was the police chief, I'm thinking that he's probably embellishing a little bit. And the reason I say that is because what he wants to do at this point, well, let me stop right there. I'm going to get back to this part because I don't want to get a story away. Let me keep going. He never had an opportunity to defend himself. So Ronald Troike fatally shot Officer Beasley, killed him dead. And the police chief called it an ambush. And they said that the man, Troike, has expressed hatred for the police in the past. So in other words, we got a guy who hates the police, and he decided to, or they're alleging that he decided to ambush a cop that day. All right, so he then returned to his truck after he shot this officer and killed him. Returned to his truck, grabbed an AR-15. An AR-15. Well, according to some people, it is affectionately known as a long gun and not an assault rifle. See, if you're Kyle Rittenhouse, in case y'all remember, and his case is going to be coming up here pretty soon, Kyle Rittenhouse, with his AR-15 assault rifle, which not one time in the media have I heard anyone refer to it as an assault rifle or AR-15. They continue to say long gun. Why? Why? Because the narrative is that it wasn't that serious. He killed 2 people, but no, it was a long gun. It was not an AR-15 assault rifle like the assault rifle that this man pulled out after killing a cop. You get my point. Anyway, it's all about the narrative, y'all. They just want to diminish how lethal the weapon really is. Anyway, the gunman came back to the square where, it was, shopping, bustling, moving about area, thing where everybody's doing things, they shopping and that kind of thing. And a bystander, or the good guy with the gun, as is affectionately known in gun enthusiast circles, he approached Troike. This good guy with the gun's name is Johnny Hurley. He's 40 years old. So he confronted the man and apparently shot and killed him with his own handgun. See, good guy with a gun. He stopped what could potentially be a mass shooting. He was able to effectively shut down any potential for further violence or a mass shooting. However, that's not where the story ends. Yeah, it gets worse. A second responding officer shows up to the scene, sees Johnny Hurley holding the long gun AR-15 assault rifle that he took from Troike after he shot him to save however many pedestrians, bypassers, shoppers, people in the area, or to stop the potential for a mass shooting. He's holding this gun now of the now cop killer. And the officer did not tell him, put the gun down, put your hands up, get on the ground, none of that. The gun, he wasn't pointing it at anyone. And he definitely didn't threaten an officer after he just shot a guy who killed an officer. That wouldn't make no sense. But I guarantee you, the chief of police, whom told his story the way he wanted it told in order to diminish the responsibility of the other officer, because that officer opened fire on Johnny Hurley and killed him dead. Why? Because he was holding the AR-15. So now we got a cop dead, and we got a guy who was defending a cop dead at the hands of a cop. Imagine that. But see, this is the problem with policing in America. No accountability. So this guy, in my best opinion, that officer should be held fully accountable for his actions. See, this ain't a black or a white thing. This is a blue thing. These officers, with their qualified immunity and their disinterest in correcting mistakes when they get it right, when they get it wrong. Sherrod Doc Holmes said, bet Johnny was black. Nope, Johnny was white. There were no people of color involved in this incident. Interestingly enough, now imagine had he been black, there would be a march in the street right now. White folks are sitting there just like, oh my God, that was horrible. Yet they want to know why we march. Now, the question becomes, what will justice look like in this situation? See, you got to remember something. We don't have a justice system. We have a legal system. It does not always bend in the direction of justice. It bends in the direction that the law will allow, depending on how good your attorney is. Because that's really what matters. That officer most definitely needs to be held accountable. And police reform, this is yet another super strong argument for police reform. Officers must be held accountable for their mistakes. There was no reason for him to just roll up, see a guy with a gun, and decide to kill him. But then on the other hand, that other officer who's dead probably felt the same way. There's no reason to roll up and just shoot a guy because he's holding a gun. But the guy shot him. Now he's dead. So the question becomes, who's right and who's wrong? See? Now, I'm sure that the officer who killed the guy who killed the cop is saying to himself, well, I'm going to probably have a legal battle ahead of me. I may go to jail, but I'm still alive. So there's valid arguments on both sides. I guess it's all in how you see it. However, Dr. Martin Luther King did say, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And what he means or meant by that in particular was that when white society, and I'm going to blanket it with white, gets angry with us as black people, when we march for the injustice of black bodies being murdered at the hands of police officers and others, they get upset. They complain about our cries and our anger and our marches and the destruction and everything that comes with that. However, it makes you wonder, what part don't they see that when a white man has suffered the same set of circumstances that a black man would in this case, and they say nothing? What does that say about their own thoughts about the way the system is set up? See, the short-sightedness of thinking that black people deserve to die at the hands of police just because is now taking root on white people. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. This is a classic example of the chickens coming home to roost once again. Short-sightedness, y'all. All right. You know, there's a lot more to talk about on that. And matter of fact, y'all, I think there's going to be a Friday show. I know I was saying I'm, doing Wednesdays, but I got a lot to talk about, and I don't want to try and cram it all in to one show. So the breaking news. See, I'm CNN now, y'all. I'm breaking news. Everything is breaking news. Breaking news. Here's the new breaking news. Y'all, man, Bill Cosby is back on the bricks, baby. He is out. Bill Cosby is free, so to speak. Because y'all know they're going to do an OJ on him. He'll never be free again. Believe that, even if he is out of jail. Bill Cosby was let out today on a technicality, which I have mixed feelings about. Well, I don't, because I never thought that he should have been convicted in the first place. Now, first you have to know this about me. I'm not a Bill Cosby fan. I haven't been for a very long time. I have not been a fan of his since even before his shenanigans were publicized. Well, and the part of the reason was because I knew about his shenanigans before they became public. I have had it on good authority and I knew about these things before they got out there like that. It was like kind of a well-known thing in certain circles. It's not the first time that I heard it when the joke was told and it turned and blew up into another thing. I kind of knew about this stuff. Aside from which, and this is just my personal thing, I didn't particularly care for when he decided he was going to scold Black America and shame people who were in situations that sometimes they had no control over. I had a huge, huge problem with that. And that was when my, if I had any fan in me, I lost it all. And I think, what was that, back in the early 2000s or the 90s or something? I can't remember, when he was on his tour running around clowning and talking crazy to people. And the thing about it was, the people he was talking to were not the ones who needed to hear it. The people who needed to hear it weren't listening to him anyway. And I just thought it was a great big grandstand for the narrative white folks have put in front of us for a very long time to be validated by his words. And I had a problem with that. So it was very annoying to me, as you can probably tell. Anyway, I do not believe, though, that he should have ever been prosecuted. I was aware that he had made some statements in regard to his past behaviors in a deposition where that was supposed to, he was supposed to have had immunity from. Well, we just found out, or I just found out, I don't know who else knew, but I just found out today that there was a prior prosecutor who had given him the immunity, and the ones who prosecuted him were new prosecutors who just, for whatever reason, I guess they had a bug up their ass and they wanted to go after him. So they did. And then, of course, you got Gloria Allred, who is the women's advocate for, abuse and all sorts of things. And she jumped out there and they turned it into a big old media doo-doo storm. Well, I knew about the deposition and the things that were said in the deposition that were never supposed to be able to be used as evidence against him. Without that evidence, you had no conviction. And I never could figure out how they were able to pull that off. Well, today, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court decided that he had been tried unfairly, and they tossed it all out, and he cannot be re-prosecuted. And any other case that was a potential for him to be prosecuted or tried on has now reached beyond the statute of limitations. Bill's free. End of story. My man walked. Now, despite what I think about him, I have a problem with his prosecution. Now, you got people that, he's a pervert, he did this, he did that, he's a sex predator or whatever. You call him whatever you want. But here's the thing. For those on the other side of the fence, if you do not condemn a Donald Trump, and I'm talking to my white folks out there who love Donald Trump so damn much, and you got a problem with Bill Cosby, I got a problem with you. Because Donald Trump has openly admitted to assaulting women, and y'all made him the president. Go figure. See, and this is where the double standards come in. This is where I start having a problem. See, in the media, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They're going to villainize and demonize, and they're going to make him out to be this monster. Everywhere he goes, they're going to do him like they did OJ. See? And I got a problem with that. Yeah, I don't care too much for the man, but I do care about the way he is treated and the double standards and the BS that he's going to have to deal with moving forward because people are full of it. Y'all know I can't stand people that's full of it. The man's rights is violated, period. You know, Andrea Constand, who was the woman that he was convicted about, who claimed that he did all these things to her, yet she voluntarily went back over and over, but somehow she was assaulted each time. Whew, ooh-wee. Y'all, that I don't even know what to say about that. That's just crazy to me. How you keep going back to an assault scene? You keep getting assaulted, but you keep returning to the scene of the crime for more assault. Yeah, okay. Well, apparently she has or made a statement today where she has some sort of a problem, I guess, with it, and she talked about what a tragedy and all this kind of stuff it is. Look, stop it, please stop. I just think a lot of people need to just remain silent on this. Just let it go, leave it alone, walk away, take the L, and call it a day. One good thing, at least he doesn't have to register now as a sex offender, because this is over. But I am curious. His legal team was on TV today. He hadn't made any statements. I will be curious to know if he will turn around and file a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit. He should. I think he should. In the name of justice, I think he should seek damages from the prosecution because they were wrong. They were dead wrong. Like him, hate him, I don't give a damn. They was wrong. And they should never have been able to get away with it. That's all. I mean, it shouldn't have happened. But it did. Why did it happen? I'll tell you why. Wrong complexion for the connection. And listen, I'm not one of those, I can't stand conspiracies. But, everybody around the black community in particular, the first thing everybody wants is, they did that to him because he was trying to buy NBC. Listen, please stop. It's certain things that annoy me to no end, and that's one of them. I get so tired of people thinking that they got the inside track to stuff. Just like my Illuminati fans. Oh, the Illuminati does this and they do that. Well, how the hell would you know that if you ain't a member? And if you ain't got money, tell me how all these secrets are so, you know so much about all these secrets. Man, just stop. Please stop. That shit annoys the hell out of me. Anyway, regardless of how much money he had or what he's doing, we already know that people in power in this country are never happy when a black person has that much power and that much juice. We already know this. We know this, historically speaking, because we've had how many towns and cities destroyed out of jealousy. Black people who have worked their ass off to make it and have it and do it, only to be shut down. And you may think, well, that was a long time ago. All these things happened in the 1920s and so on and so forth. But guess what? If it happened in the 1920s, that means you have deprived several more generations of generational wealth because you stole, took, shook, and never returned property rightfully owned, bought, and paid for by black folks. Murdered people who will never have children now, whose generations will never move forward. All of that affects us now. It ain't been that damn long ago. We only talking about 100 years. You know how old Earth is? You know how many centuries we were in chains? We've been out of chains less time than we was in chains. Don't get confused now. See, this is where we are. Now, because of these sorts of things, we continue to make our way. We ain't going nowhere. But this is yet another one of those, we're going to bring you down a few rungs, nigga. We're going to show you. This is what Clarence Thomas, not another one of my unfavorite people, referred to as a high-tech lynching. Because although some of the things Cosby did, much of which we probably will never know, that may have been worse, at the end of the day, he did the same thing everybody else is doing. That doesn't, and I'm not saying it's okay, but I am saying if you're going to take him down, y'all need to go get Trump right away. Matter of fact, you know, a lot of people don't even know this. Did y'all know that Donald Trump was actually on charges already for assault, underage girls, and some other things, and now these cases are about to start coming back up? A lot of people don't even know that. They buried all of that. Well, he got some charges coming this week too, so it's gonna be interesting. His life in law is gonna be very, very hairy in the very near future, and I don't think he got enough money to not enough money in the world to get away with the things that he's about to have to pay for. But I want y'all to remember, we do not have, and I'm gonna say this again because we do not have a justice system in this country. We have a legal system that works based upon how much money you got, what color you are, and what kind of lawyers you hire. It's as simple as that. Justice does not exist in this country for black people. The funny thing about the legal system, not the justice system, the legal system, it worked in Bill Cosby's favor this time. See, because the justice system would have kept him locked up because there were other things. It wasn't just this, but he never got caught. Lucky for him. But the legal system, because of its flaws and because of the things that go on within it, made it possible for him to be set free today. Because legally, they couldn't do what they did to get him locked up. They did it, but it was wrong and it was unlawful. So the legal system turned around and said, y'all didn't follow procedure. Had they followed procedure in the first place, he would never have gone to jail. So the legality or illegality of the prosecutors worked in his favor. It ain't justice. It ain't the justice system. It's the legal system. It worked out for him. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have my ear pinned to the ground over the next few days because I will be wanting to see what shakes out of that. There are other things going on. I'm looking forward to the Olympics getting started. I got a couple of really good stories that we're going to talk about with the Olympic thing coming up. But I want to take this time right now and let each and every one of y'all know that I appreciate you. I thank you for supporting me in this show. I'm going to tell you, and y'all probably heard me say this before, I'm going to say it again. There are days, man, look, where this thing, it wears me out. But check this out. When I'm out in public and somebody rolls up on me and they say, man, I love your show. Man, keep doing what you're doing, man. You killing it. You out here, man, you enlightening people. You bringing the knowledge. You telling us things that we didn't know. When I hear that, and it only takes one person, I ain't gonna lie. When I hear that, it puts the cables on me, man. It makes me like, okay, bet. I'm gonna keep this thing going. Cause I like digging. I love information, and I've got a fondness for history. But what amazes me the most is the way history is so tied. I mean, literally, like a blood vessel. The blood runs down the same vein. It's so tied to everything that we do. It's so tied to everything that we are. If a person ever roll up on you and they tell you, oh, that happened a long time ago, forget about it. I want you to be able to explain to them why there's still a problem. And until we receive, wait a minute, hold on. What that say? Reparations. Our reparation check, which is overdue, until we receive what we're asking for, justice, not just the law, but justice, until we receive some form of reparation, repair for the damage done, repair for the free labor. So you got to remember, black folks but white folks didn't see black people as lazy until they started working for free. See, until they stopped working for free. That's when all of us, they're lazy. We wasn't lazy when you was cracking that whip, and we was working for free, making this country what it is today. You want to make America great again, right? Pay the people who made it great. That's what you do. Pay the people who made this country what it is, because without that free labor, America ain't what it was, ain't what it is. It didn't happen. Still a third world country. It's still in the hands of the indigenous, who were quite happy moving about doing as they chose. Don't get confused about where we are today. This is America. Independence Day is a week away. And we're going to be jumping up and down. It ain't even a week, it's a few days. Celebrating, barbecuing, and independence, and wearing the red, white, and blue. All while this was being thought out and produced, we were in chains. Black folks did not have their own lives to be accountable for. They didn't have their own freedom. There's nothing to celebrate for black people in America. And if they tell you that all that happened a long time ago and it doesn't mean anything, I want you to think about the 13th Amendment. And the fact that they were so bitter that black people were finally free, that they put in the 13th Amendment that slavery was abolished, except for people who had been incarcerated. Subsequently, they then put laws into place called black codes. And they put the black codes in place so that they could lock up black folks for vagrancy and anything else they could make up, black women, so that they could then farm you out to a plantation to work off the fine that they knew you couldn't afford, that they levied for your vagrancy. In other words, they put you back into slavery by law. Remember that we just got through talking about? The legal system and the justice system. There's no justice in locking black people up for minding their own business. But the law said that they could do that. So they then kept many black folks on a plantation by virtue of a pen and paper. This is America. So we have a lot of choices now. However, we also have a lot of decisions to make. We have to have the ability to think our way through this. The only way to defeat a system that is not for you is to infiltrate that system. The same way COINTELPRO infiltrated the Black Panthers, Dr. King's camp, Medgar Evers' camp, and the list goes on. Every black person, Marcus Garvey, who has worked toward the betterment of black people in America, has been infiltrated. They put a plant in there, and they use those people to gain information, act in subversion, and create a smokescreen that allowed them to take them out, bring them down, and eliminate the threat. The only way that we can also do that is by infiltrating the system, operating within that system to tear down the walls of oppression, injustice, degradation, and all the other things that have been levied upon us for centuries. It's time, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Black Factor. And I am your host, Brian Forbes, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. I want y'all to know I love you. I love you. I love y'all. I just want y'all to love me back. Don't forget to hit them subscribe buttons. Don't forget to hit the like buttons. Don't forget to, all that stuff. I need you to hit all of them buttons. I need you to share. I need you to tell a friend and let them tell two friends and so on, so that I can stay alive out here. Y'all want me to stay alive, right? I want to keep on doing this show. So we need your support. And I would appreciate if you let somebody know that we got a little bit of good information over here, and sometimes we have a little fun. I try not to be serious all the time, y'all, but you know what it is. Y'all know me. Those of you who know me. Y'all know what it is. I smile sometimes. All right, y'all. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate y'all. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. I am probably going to do a Friday show. I'm just feeling some kind of way. So y'all be ready for that. All right. I ain't ready to go yet. Yes, I am. All right, y'all. I'm being silly right now. Listen, thank you. Mr. Holmes, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the accolade of the show. Y'all make it be what it is. Y'all make it what it is. It ain't just me. Y'all make it what it is. Everybody have yourselves a wonderful evening. I'm going and eat me something and do what I do. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all.